Hi everyone. I want to start by first saying I am almost done with your Unit 2 projects. I am just kind of doing some of the final tallies, and once I have that completed, I will upload everything and put up a blog post letting you know that it's all updated. Most likely that'll be done before noon tomorrow, earlier if possible. But let's talk about Unit 3 because that's where we are now. Right now, I was excited to get everyone's contract. I can see that most of you put a lot of time and effort into setting up a well-rounded and very thorough contract. So kudos to you. The stronger contract you have now helps to alleviate any infringements that could happen later and sets up the expectations so those infringements don't happen. So this unit has two parts. The first part is the proposal, and the second part is the instruction set. So as you read through Chapter 16, you'll notice that there are several types of proposals that are out there. So based on the scenario that you've been given, the Academic Innovations in E-Learning has put out a bid for proposals, and you are going to be replying to that. So first what you're doing is you're creating a proposal stating that there's a problem. It could be that Blackboard's not effective. It could be that Blackboard's not being used properly. It could be that just the lack of communication between students and instructors or having to go too many places, whatever it is, that there's a problem. And that the tool that your group has decided, be it Facebook, be it Twitter, be it a certain aspect of Blackboard, be it Pinterest, whatever that is, can help fix that problem or as a solution to that problem. So in that, you will then, the second part of the project is to then create the instruction set on how to use that tool. But let's focus on the first part because that's what's due the soonest. You'll notice in Chapter 16 that there's a sample proposal. I encourage you to use this proposal so that way you're not reinventing the wheel. Some things that you'll notice is that we have that straight up memo introduction that we've been working on, the nice alignment that this will be written to the to the Academic Innovations in E-Learning Department, myself, possibly the class, so you might have some CCs in there, that it's from your group members, and the subject of your proposal. You then have the purpose for writing this proposal. But now here's the part that I want you to pay attention to. The first part is the summary. This summary is typically written last, and the reason being is because it's the summary of your entire paper or proposal. What you'll notice in this section is that there's lots of repetition between this and what's in the actual proposal itself, and that's because readers are radars for information. So some might only read the summary to get the overview of the project, while others are going to look in detail at the different sections of the proposal. So you will write something like, on blank date, you were requested to submit a bid, or that this bid was put out and you decided to respond to this proposal. You then will talk a little bit about the background and the issue, the problem at hand. Then you're talking about the heart of that proposal, what you plan to do, and then how long you think it will take to do this. Now this last part is that instruction set part. We're going to come back to that in a minute. You then have the introduction. This is where a lot of that research could be coming in. So you're going to talk again, on this date you were asked to do this, right? So we see that repetition that's coming in. You're setting up the context. You're presenting the problem at hand. This is a persuasive argument right here. So you're saying there's a problem with how things are currently working and bringing in resources to show that these tools could help fix that problem. Okay, so it might not look exactly like this in context because you are submitting a bid to a proposal that's out there, so it's a little different in this section, but the idea here is that it's a persuasive document, you're stating the problem in the context, and you are then using research to support why this tool could be useful. You might find research to support that there's actually a problem with the tool that people are currently using. You might find arguments against what you're proposing. Some of your student surveys tallies could come in here as well. Then we get to this proposed task section. In this proposed task, Before we get to the proposed tasks, let me backtrack a minute. You'll then have this transition here. So you will basically then put that, should you be approved of this, that you will then create the instruction set. Then we have these proposed tasks. These proposed tasks are the tasks that your group will accomplish in order to complete the instruction set. Not the proposal, because the proposal's already done. So you're starting now with what needs to be done in order to complete the instruction set. It could be to gain a broader understanding of students' comfort level, security concerns, engagement with these tools. It could be to start researching images and resources for troubleshooting, images to use within the instruction set itself. It could be to look at the various tools within one of these programs in order to see which one would best fit. For example, if you're talking about how to better use Blackboard, you're not taking on Blackboard as a whole. But maybe you're looking at how to use Blackboard to create more communication between students and between students and faculty. Therefore, you might look at the blog feature within Blackboard. Or you could look at the discussion board feature within Blackboard. Or you could look at VoiceThread within Blackboard. So then you would have to examine which tool would meet your group's needs, right? In this section, you are stating what you're going to research or what you're going to do and why you're going to do it. And so you can see that detailed really well right in here. So task 1, and look at the formatting here. We have this indent, block indent here, italics set up, right? That lead in right there. We have our tasks that are parallel. So all these elements you've been working on are coming together. And you have your task 2, task 3, task 4 in order to create the instruction set. Then you have your schedule, and you'll notice that this schedule coordinates with these tasks. Some of this you can take directly from the contract that you've already set up. Some of this will be added in based upon the task that you have now created in order to create that instruction set. In the experience section, there should be a bullet point for each person in the group. Now we just got out of this unit that highlights the best possible you, so here's your time to shine. This section basically lets your audience know, the academic innovations in e-learning, why you're the right group in order to do this project. So promote you. What experience do you have with social media? What experience do you have as a student? What experience do you have utilizing these various tools? So promote that in order to kind of sell your group as why you should be afforded to do this instruction set. And then you'll have your APA references in full APA format. The one additional piece that you have is an appendix, which is your questionnaire, with all of that tabulated information on one questionnaire. Based on that questionnaire, you are getting some usable data, which you can then use within your proposal. That graphic that you will create with some of that data can go either in the introduction, or it could even go in a proposed task. It really depends on how your group is setting up your research and presenting your argument. Now, one thing that I notice, a lot of students make this way more complicated than it needs to be. I know that the group element adds a little complexity to it, but realize that this is a short paper with a lot of white space, so we're really looking at 4 to 6 pages of a proposal, so a research paper, and then we will transition into the instruction set. So take one piece at a time, so you have plenty of time to kind of still tackle this. Now, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. I'm more than glad to answer questions ahead of time and have you assume and do it incorrectly. So if you have any questions, let me know. In the meantime, I hope you all enjoy your weekend.